Welcome to Talk Purpose and Truth, shifting you into higher consciousness. A show that elevates, uplifts, and encourages listeners to grow, heal, awaken, and evolve. Eden and Kim include bold topics, interviews with inspiring guests, experts, and celebrities, intuitive readings, channeled messages, mental health awareness, and hot topics to expand your awareness. Tune in for unprecedented truth, authenticity, on-purpose discussions, and magical...
We stay grounded by sometimes, besides doing things in nature and groundedness things, we watch reality shows or keep track of pop culture things going on in the world. And we tend to disagree on some of the things going on. And sometimes we'll be texting about a really deep thing during the day. And then at night, we're arguing over who the Bachelor should have picked.
Yeah. And do you remember, I think the reason we came up with the idea to talk about this on the show is because going back to the Bachelor, we were going back and forth by text one night, like a couple weeks ago. And we were kind of, I mean, we don't really need to argue about it, but we were kind of like, no, this is what I feel. And you were like, no, I don't agree with that. I feel like this. And so the way we were talking, I was like, this would be a really fun episode. So that's what we're doing.
Yeah. And I just crack up because I'll literally go from, like, right now I have a book club group that I do online with some people on this book, and we go into really deep study, and I get channeled messages. And then I'll be so full because all day I worked and did that. And then I'll go watch Bachelor in Paradise. And I'm like, okay, I don't have to think.
Yep.
So I like to do that. And I think it's interesting, like, just even though some of it is contrived, a lot of it's interesting just to see human behavior and how people react. And even to me, even if it is some of it's contrived, they chose to go on the show, you know?
True. Yeah. Just for the wrong reasons sometimes.
I think we're going to become kind of more low vibration right now.
We're going to go to our egos now, and we're going to have a cat fight. No.
Oh my God. Well, we'll just kind of see we'll think of some things going on in pop culture, and we'll see what I know that we sometimes tend to disagree, which we actually agree on quite most things, but once in a while we don't, but usually we handle it very quickly, and we're both evolved. So we compromise, you know? So this will be interesting. So it all started with, now Bachelor in Paradise is airing, but the Bachelorette was on, the one with two people. What's her name?
Gabby and Rachel.
That was on recently, like a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
And so Rachel was with a guy named Tino and chose him. And then a bunch of drama went down, and we were talking about how it was handled. And to me, so Eden, explain what happened. So then, because I didn't watch as many episodes as you, like, give a little scoop on it, and then I can go into what I thought and then what you thought.
Okay. So, if for anyone who doesn't watch The Bachelor, I'll just kind of give a quick synopsis. So basically, when they pick the last person, they get engaged, and it doesn't air for a while. So they have like a 3-month span where before it airs, and if they want to see each other, they have to do it privately so that we don't see it, because they don't want us to know who they picked. So when they were off, when the show was done being filmed, this couple, Rachel and Tino, ended up having like a falling out where she found out that he kissed another girl. And of course, there was a lot more to it, but they ended up breaking up, and it was all done on film. Like they filmed their conversations breaking up, and then they aired it.
Right.
And a side note to this, Tino's father was known on the show as like an ass because he was not nice to Rachel when they did like the hometown visit thing.
Beyond that, like really bad things. And so what we were discussing about it is that Lisa Rinna and her sister Kyle came into the room and talked to Kathy about it. And Lisa got really harsh with Kathy and said, you have a black heart and, you know, you need therapy. And Kyle was like, please don't get like this, you guys. You know, I don't want it to become this big of a conflict. And so who was right? You know, Kathy or Lisa or neither. So I feel Lisa went a little too far. Like maybe she shouldn't have said such harsh things to Kathy, but we don't know what Lisa heard exactly and how Lisa felt in that moment. And maybe that was Lisa's way of airing it out with Kathy. And Kathy maybe should have taken a little more accountability or figured out why she would go so dark about her own friends and family.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Okay, so there's a lot of dynamics because I think that Lisa, knowing how we know her from all the seasons on the show, she has her own history of acting out, and coming back and apologizing and wanting people to like her. You know, all of that same position that Kathy's in now. She never took it to that point.
Mm-hmm.
You know, did never get as bad as what Kathy supposedly did, but so I think that she, at least, again, just like Tino, owes Kathy just the space to, you know, to offer her apologies and to share, you know, where she knows she went wrong, made a mistake. And Kathy said all the right things. She did. There was a really great apology. But Lisa took it to a place where I think it was not her business at that point.
Which, speaking of, you know, who's interesting in that arena of getting married and divorced and dating and all that is Madonna. Like, she's always been really big on being ageless and not looking. And I think she teaches her kids that too. Just don't even ever look at age. A person is just a person. And so that's a matter of opinion. That's her belief. Yeah. And so even though she's been married and has, you know, kids from a couple of different guys, adopted 4 kids, her last boyfriend was 27 and now her new boyfriend is 23 and she's 64.
Oh my gosh.
And that's so
go girl.
I guess, but I mean, you know what, to each their own, but yeah. I was like thinking about it going, oh, I'm looking at like, you know, somebody that I know that's 22, a guy, and I'm like, I think of him almost like my daughter's friend. Like, he seems like a kid to me, and I would feel kind of gross and violating if I was single. I don't know. I just feel like it almost seems too close to my kid's age. Like, it would make me feel weird.
Yeah. Well, and she could be his grandmother.
Well, her kids are older. 2 of her kids are older than him. So, yeah, 2 of her kids are like, one of her kids is 25 and one of them's like 27 and he's 23. Wow. So to me, that would bother me, but everyone's got a right to do whatever they want. But, you know.
Thank you for listening to Talk Purpose and Truth podcast. Find out more at talkpurposeandtruth.com. And follow us at Talk Purpose Truth on Instagram and Facebook.